gotta take it, man.
Aim small, miss small. Do it for bagels.
And that was a scene from the blockbuster movie, also nominated for several Academy Awards, American Sniper, which is based on the autobiography by an American sniper, Chris Kyle. Clint Eastwood directs it. Bradley Cooper stars in it, but it's also at the center of controversy. And to talk more about that controversy right now is Rich Davis, who is a Navy veteran and founder of the American Sheepdogs. Thank you, sir, for your service. And Dr. Ramon Solhkhah, who is chairman of the Department of Psychiatry at Jersey Shore University Medical Center. Thank you both for being here. Let's start, since we talked a little bit about the controversy in the first segment, let's pick up with that. And Rich, I'll start with you, being a veteran. You watched this movie. Do you understand where any of the criticism is coming from?
I do, in a way, because America has been very divided about the Iraq War and about soldiers in general. There's a lot of conceptions by some in America who think that our troops are too often victims or maybe bullies. I look at our troops as heroes and patriots, and I see Chris Kyle as a great American, a true patriot, and a real hero.
You know, I thought people that criticized the movie, Doctor, didn't get the point of the movie. Because I thought the point of the movie was much deeper and more nuanced, as Chris Jordan said a moment ago, than the black and white that they saw. It was about the trauma that not only the soldiers go through, but the families go through. And this is the kind of trauma you deal with all the time.
Absolutely, and I think they did a phenomenal job of that. And I think, you know, whether you're talking about American Sniper or even Selma, you know, people can get caught up in sort of what is the veracity of the argument and what's the story trying to portray. But I think, you know, you look at what the intention was with Clint Eastwood in this role. Clearly he portrayed one man's experience and the family's experience while he was overseas serving, and I think they spot on in terms of nailing that.
And being a veteran and having served, did you watch the movie and could you relate?
Absolutely. It brought back a lot of my military experience. Being away, I was on submarines for 90 days at a time, and you're in a totally different world where you know exactly what your role is. You don't need money, you don't have to run errands, and then you come home and suddenly you're faced with the day-to-day challenges of everyday life with your family, and you're not in the same sort of structure. It takes a while to get back into the swing of things.
You know, it's an interesting point. I would think that many times the psychological problems that vets have is not just the horrors of war, but the change in life and how uneventful their new life is compared to what they were going through.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, again, the movie did a really nice job in terms of showing the wife's expectation when Chris returned home and just sort of expecting him to get back into the routine, and that he wasn't able to. And I think exactly as you point out, you know, your life in the military is very structured. You know exactly what's going on. I think there's the camaraderie, which also helps you get through that day-to-day issues. Then all of a sudden you come home and it's a very different environment. And I think that the skills that have been built up and serve you well when you're overseas in combat, you can't just turn off. So, you know, you saw little hints of that where he's a little bit more paranoid and sort of, you know, jittery and just little sounds, and the reaction with the dog, you know, in the barbecue scene, I think is one of those powerful ones where he's just turned on. And
for those who didn't see the movie, the dog was going after one of the children, and he grabs the dog and is going to physically hurt the dog, maybe kill the dog before.
Correct, before the child gets hurt. And so I think goes back to that the sheepdog role of protecting, and that's just turned on and ready to fire it, you know, just like a snap of his fingers.
Real quick, because we're wrapping up, I should talk about the sheepdog is talked about in the movie, that there's three types of people. There's a wolf, there are the sheep, and then there's the sheepdog who protect the sheep, and that's where your name came from.
Well, that was a very significant scene for me because we've been sheepdogs since 2007, so we know the story. There's three kinds of people. There's sheep, most are kind and gentle. There's wolves, they attack and kill the sheep without mercy. And then there's a sheepdog who protect the sheep and confront the wolf. And when he told that story to his son Kyle and his brother Jeff when they were little boys, and he said, we need sheepdogs because they are the firewall between good and evil. And he took that on his shoulders and he became a protector for his brothers in arms and his country.
And as part of your organization, you go out in support of the veterans?
Yeah, we show public displays of support for our troops and their families, because we understand what the families go through too.
Okay, Rich, thank you so much. And again, thanks for your service. Doctor, it was
Pleasure.
a pleasure to meet you. Please come back. When we return on Another Thing, a close-up behind-the-scenes look at Camelot. Dawn shows us intimate family photos of John F. Kennedy, Jackie O, and the kids. That's next.